What's going on, everybody? My name's Elijah Kraft,
My name's Nate House.
and you're watching Kraft House Media. Nate, what's been up with your life lately? How have you improved? How have you grown lately?
You know, at the beginning of the summer, you made I made a deal that I would make my bed and meditate for a few minutes,
Yeah.
and
How's that going?
I've still made my bed every morning,
Okay.
except for one morning. One morning I didn't.
Nate.
That's a lie.
Okay.
But 98% of the time, I've been making my bed and being intentional when I wake up to take a few minutes to just breathe.
Mm-hmm.
I've never done this before. And
Okay.
in some ways, I feel like I've been more focused more quickly. Like, it doesn't take me as much time to get to that place in my mental space as to where I need to be and what I need to be doing during the day.
Like all throughout the day.
Yeah, like it stays with you. Like once you, for me, like once you get set for your day, like you're moving in the right direction
Yeah.
and good things are happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've been feeling generally pretty better. Is that safe to say?
More focused.
Okay. More focus.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you've been meditating also every day after making your bed.
Usually.
Nice. Usually.
Yeah.
What do you do? 5 minutes? 10 minutes?
Probably 5 minutes.
Okay.
And so mostly I've been sitting outside, and that's been a good process too, because it's like you kind of get acquainted to like the weather, or knowing what. But I think also it's like I can hear birds outside. The sun is up. I mean, I don't get up that early, so the sun's definitely up, and it gets you like focused in on like the rhythm of the day. And for me.
Yeah.
And that's been really, really healthy and really helpful.
Yeah.
I've never been a morning person. No, not once.
I empathize.
Yeah. So, like, for me, morning has always been a struggle because I don't like to wake up. I don't like to get going. But having this kind of plan that when I do wake up and getting ready, making myself do something that, once you sit outside for a few minutes in the sunlight, like you're not gonna just feel like, oh, I want to go right back to sleep. So that's been really helpful.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you felt some improvement from that exercise. It's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I know, just sort of the last week I was telling you earlier, I was in a bit of a slump. Literally felt like I was going a little bit crazy. What I've realized about myself is that I cannot give myself permission to feel like, or to label myself as depressed, or to say that like something's wrong with me until I've exercised and sat in silence for any extended amount of time, longer than 10 minutes.
Wow.
Until I do those things, I don't give myself permission to feel like something's wrong with me. Whereas, in the past I used to feel like that a lot. Like if I'm off for a day, or just I'm like off my usual rhythm, I would feel like, oh, I'm depressed. Like it would go into this like really big thing of like, oh, I'm in a slump or I'm not good enough. No, like stick to the routine, get right, eat right, like get your mind right, get your body right, and everything else will fall into place. Naturally, as soon as I did those couple of things, just sat in silence, exercised, had a really healthy meal, I was back to being old invincible me.
That's nice.
It's really funny how it works that way, but like,
yeah.
My mind is so insidious that it will just play all these kinds of different tricks on me, and say, something's wrong.
Right, and sometimes our thinking is not our friend.
No, like the mind. It's the quote that the mind makes a great servant but a lousy master.
Oh wow.
We are
okay.
I think this culture just overall is kind of ruled by the rational thinking mind. Again, to refer to an older video, we're not our mind, we're the observer of it.
Yes. In fact, that was a quotation that one of my friends liked so well.
Yeah,
they wrote it down, put it in their wallet, and look at it every once in a while.
I think it's great.
That I am, and I think that's so important to remember that, so our thinking might not be as clear as it should be. It might not be taking in directions that we want to go.
Yeah.
Our feelings also very impermanent.
Yeah. Very impermanent.
You feel this way right now. You won't feel this way 10 minutes from now.
Right. No, it's very true though. A lot of what my mentor had pointed out to me was that a lot of younger people in early 20s, late teens, they have this kind of mentality that like everything that happens to them is like permanent.
Yeah.
Whether that's you're working a job that you don't necessarily care for the most in your life, whether you're in a terrible breakup, whether you're going through family issues, like none of it's permanent, and having the kind of mentality that everything that happens to you is gonna it's the matter of like allowing things to affect you,
Right.
to affect like how you act and how you respond to people. When you allow circumstances to dictate that, you're helpless. You are a victim to the circumstance. But when you can cultivate that steadiness of mind and that ability to like be steadfast and be rooted and determine how you want to respond to every situation before it happens in calm alertness,
Right.
Until you can cultivate that capacity to do so, you're pretty much just a victim.
Well, and that's why it is so important to have positive routines, things that you know that you can do for yourself, whether get up and make your bed or meditate in the morning or have a moment of 10 minutes of silence, and also knowing that we need to exercise, knowing that we need to feed ourselves properly. Like, if we're not doing these basic things, how could you expect to be better than, you know what I mean? Like, how could
Yeah.
you have this unrealistic expectation that I'm a superhero, like,
You just woke up
I
like
don't,
this.
I don't have to eat or exercise or take care of myself, I'll just feel super. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're not. No one is. So I think having these realistic expectations about what we need to do to take care of ourselves is a great first step
Yeah.
in mental health and understanding that I have some control over the way I think and feel because of how well I take care of myself.
Well, to your point though, a lot of it is like the things that we do every day, like having these rituals, having these habits built into our daily routine is such an important part.
Yeah.
Like that's the foundation, that's the mortar, that's the brick that builds like the character that we have the ability to cultivate.
Absolutely.
Like you are what you do every day.
And sometimes you need to then break up that negative thinking. Some people put a quotation on their mirror in their bathroom so that they see something that reminds them to think differently. Some people, add little things to their routines to show that they care for themselves. And I think all of these things are, if they're not made into a habit, if you're not practicing them for 90 days, they're not going to have a big change on who you are and what you do. And so it's a great step when you can see that, oh, I'm not quite where I want to be. I want to do a little bit more of this. What could I do for myself to make that happen? Rather than just wishing it would happen.
Yeah, it's a big thing. We think about doing things a lot, and when people ask us about it, our response is, yeah, I've been thinking about it. But, what have you actually done to further this goal? I think analysis paralysis can really trap people a lot of the time. I've been trapped by it for a long portion of my life. Just by associating with people who like snap me out of it, though, is really just the only remedy for that I've been able to find, because they call me out on my bullshit so clearly.
True.
Yeah.
And me likewise.
I mean, we're human. We're human. At the same time, I want to grow.
Yeah. We were actually having a conversation about what are the videos that we need to make. And I was surprised, and it was very true. A good standard of the videos that we need to make are probably the videos that we need to hear ourselves.
Right.
And so we were thinking like how we wanted to use this platform not only to serve and help others, but in serving and helping others, we would be serving and helping ourselves too.
Yes.
Yes. So stick with us on this journey. We hope to improve. We hope to see your improvement. And we look forward to being a part of that journey with you.
Yeah. Hope you guys can take some value out of our videos and our time with you guys. So I hope to meet you in person one day. So we'll see you guys in the next videos.
Have a good night.
See ya.